Greetings YouTube, it is I, CyberKnight-Miky, and fuck this thing. Yeah, today we're gonna take a look at the Transformers Earthspark Deluxe Class Cliffjumper. And what hasn't it been said that haven't already been said before? So this guy is pretty much a deluxe class. In price point. Even though it doesn't make really sense. I mean, if you really want to make an excuse that these actually are acceptable as cranking up that price that much, c'est la vie. You do you. But it's still bullshit. Okay, first and foremost, beforehand I didn't really mind that Cliffjumper that much. I mean, it is a pretty decent character and of course decent figure. But the more and more I have in my collection, the more I realized, and of course seeing reviews, that this is literally a more G1 accurate, kind of a G1 looking character. Yeah, let me just stop you right there, boss. First and foremost, the overall chest is wrong. It's not supposed to have the windows up here, but it's supposed to be like so. Just like the G1 the G1 Masterpiece Bumblebee figure have. And speaking of the overall Bumblebee figure, yeah, this literally shares some elements of the overall figure, but bastardize them. Considering there's some elements that really makes this figure kind of bullshit. For example, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Oh boy, the overall bullshit parts forming. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind parts forming if it's done right. However, this one is fucking obnoxious. I mean, first and foremost, this is literally a part of the car. And it's literally a parts forming because they literally just went lazy with it. And don't bring up the overall 3D printed that you can literally do. It is breakable, and it's not that suitable. I do not want to have 3D printed just to make it broken. Do not waste your money on that. And of course, the overall fold-up piece here, it is tight as fuck when you try to have it from alt mode to robot mode, because the tab is a really difficult part to literally get out, and you really need to have a tool in order for literally be possible. And of course, it also, oh yeah, it's also pretty much functionality for its shield. Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna stick it to the back. But beforehand, there's also another functionality that you literally do, which is, there's a tab right here that has some ports here, and there's also those here as well. So they want you to expect that you are supposed to have him like doing, well, so. I'm sorry, what the fuck? I mean, what are you supposed to do with him? You just have it like so? You should just to have him with it like a goddamn club? Are you making me look like a fool? Brother. I'm just gonna stick it to the back, which, without his backpack, it doesn't look that bad. And even when you plug it in, it's not that bad either. But the fact that you need to parts form it, it is bothersome. Unless it is the guns, like the Seekers, I don't mind parts forming with the guns, considering they're all supposed to be wearable as guns and the shouldered. Wearable in the shoulders. But I'm just saying, it is a bit kind of a bullshit reason. And there's some aspect of this figure that seems a bit off. Mostly the proportions. This guy is really, really chubby. In a good way and some bad way. But honestly, I don't really mind that much. But considering there are no tabs that secure in the place, like the shoulders, like it doesn't take that much to unplug it, which is a bit annoying. And of course the feet, which do look pretty nice, even though they do look oversized. That kind of looks like clown shoes. And of course the arms, pretty short, cannot even reach with each other. What the or even kind of scratch his scrotum. This arms is so damn short. Who thought this looks actually good? And of course, why did they even make him look like this short in the first place? Oh wait, just to make it promote this to be a Bumblebee retool later on, even though it was a retool as from the Masterpiece Bumblebee. Until they even ruined it even more. God damn it. Anyway, let's talk about the weapons before I just lose my mind over this figure, because I'm literally reviewing some figures in one day. Yeah. So, the weapons. Which is pretty neat cannons, which you can actually pull off a actual movie Ironhide, which is an option. It is kind of funny. But it's also kind of supposed to be wearable as actual cannons, which is pretty neat in some ways. I'll tell you more about the functionality, but what you're supposed to do is just connect them to each other just to form the cannon he literally have in one episode from the pilot. And I gotta ask, was this really worth cranking this guy up to a deluxe class price when he doesn't really feel like a deluxe class? Because he doesn't feel like a deluxe class. But, hey, c'est la vie. But of course, here's also another thing that I kind of get bothered. This doesn't really tap into place. Oh, brother. Anyway, let's talk about the overall... Well, let's talk about the overall functionality. Well, beforehand, it is also splooge compatible, which is pretty nice. And you can also literally blow him up even more, which is also nice. Even having some explosion, just so you can shoot him down. Yeah, that's always fun. But anyway, articulation-wise, he does have a ball joint, which he can look up that far and not that far even more. Can also rotate. His arms can go forward that much. Do 360 degree bicep rotation, 90 elbow, wrist swivel, which is actually a plus. Waist swivel, which is a plus. Walking ass backwards, well, back looking up, which is stupid. And then he can kick up that far and that far back. Waterfall spread, 90 degree bend, which is, oh boy. And of course, a maximum pivot. Of course, the overall articulation is pretty neat, but it is also very restrictive due to overall proportions and execution, which is quite unfortunate. I mean, every other YouTuber has already explained it, so you can already tell what my expression is. So here we have it next to the others who are literally shaming him. And of course his superior Cliffjumper. So yeah, there we have a Cliffjumper, and now we're gonna transform him into his, well, Porsche mode, sorry. Well, stylized Porsche that is. But first off, you literally flip off the chest, pull up the, of course, the hood panel, close it up, back up. Then you need to remove this cap, which is bullshit. Then you just flip it down that much, and it's tight as hell. Good luck even flipping this up. This is literally me trying to pull it up with just one thumb. And you cannot even do it with a finger, because otherwise you will break your fingernails. So that's a bummer. Then you literally flip out the, well, the door flaps, the doors. Then you literally fold up the hoods, like so. Then you fold up the wheels. Then you just rotate the waist. Then you literally fold up the chest. Before that, you literally had to do 90 elbows, rotate them, like so. And then you just fold it up. Oh yeah, let's also talk about the nice details that they added to this car mode, which is pretty nice, I will say. It's just too bad that it's also pinned like so, which, yikes. I did kind of ruin it a little bit, but it doesn't matter really that much, because in the end it doesn't roll that well either way. And of course you just squeeze it, which is very concerning. And of course you just put it up, well, without parts forming. This is literally how it looks like without the the parts forming part, and welcome to Russia, where you literally have 95% of the card. Yeah. Oh boy. It really looks like a broken card, isn't it? And then you literally have this piece, which is the bullshit part, and you just clam it in that much, and now you have the nice Ultima, which I will say is actually pretty nice. But I am kind of a little bit weird about it, because this is supposed to be clear plastic, which is nice, but then you have this back hood, which is just painted black. Why couldn't you just cast it in just black, just red with black paint on it? Another one of those kind of Earthrise kind of nonsense they literally pulled, because let's be honest, Earthrise was a wonky kind of toy line. And don't bring in the COVID nonsense. I don't want to hear that excuse, because it is not just a COVID reason, but of course the overall laziness about Hasbro's team. And beforehand, these designs was even developed before COVID. So you cannot make this excuse. Don't try to make any COVID excuse. You just do it as it is. And right now, well, it is a nice looking resemblance of the, the pores he is based off. I mean, he was supposed to be a squished up Pennywise looking card, but I do like it how they literally tried to make it an actual car, even though, yeah, when you try to modify it, it doesn't roll that well. And of course the bottom, which even makes it even worse, considering, just lost the words, because it just feels off. I mean, you can literally try to modify it just to make it move, but good luck trying to do that when the overall sacrifice they literally made just to make it look more having the G1 appearance. Speaking of our G1 appearance, you can also put these weapons and literally turn it. Boom. Boom. And then, well, boom. Boom. Into the moment where he was in that one episode in G1 where he was in the water for like 30 seconds. And you can also add, the blast effects just so you can have more effect, which is neat at one point. But also, was it really that necessary? And speaking of this point, when they also trying to retool this into a Bumblebee, then it makes no sense at all. This is a cursed mold. And they sacrifice all just to have this kind of appearance. I mean, sure, I do appreciate G1, but having stuff that just appeared in one episode, wasn't that really that necessary? And of course, just trying to remove these parts just for the overall size comparison. So here we have it next to, Transformers Prime Cliffjumper. I don't know about you, but I suspect that it could have been a greater size if it was just the same size as this Cliffjumper. But instead, it just feels, too cheapified. I mean, this is supposed to be a sports car. This is supposed to be an actual, car. And supposed to be actually a little bit bigger. And here we have Motor Master. Again, could have been a bit bigger. So, in conclusion, don't buy this thing. I'm sorry to say, but in one point, it may be a decent looking figure. But now we live in the present day, and opinions have changed. Yeah, I can see that the 2020 literally, well, with Earthrise, they literally cursed some of the molds, and a lot of things were just so damn lazy. They just brought in designs that already exist and just, well, trying to retool them into actual, well, mainline stuff. Like the original, well, the Seekers that literally came out in the early 2000s. You know, the ones that literally, those Seekers, those Generation Seekers. That literally then was pretty much an oversight, just upscaled them and made some tooling to make them, well, a little bit better than those, but honestly, they could have just made the Seekers from scratch and just made it even better, made it its own thing instead of just retooling them from original designs that already existed to just to tweak them to make it better and just sell them into modern kind of ways, into modern mainline, which just feels cheap. It just it had some cool concept that just executed poorly. That's what I'm trying to say. There's some executions that just feel flat, like the Voyager's Starscream and the other Seekers. Just like Grapple, how he was a pretty neat looking Voyager class, only to have a design flaw that literally cursed the mold. Optimus Prime that looks kind of perfect, but then has some design choices that just feel so damn off. And especially some stuff that literally breaks too damn easily. And of course, let's not forget about Cliffjumper, who everybody has so damn complained this guy so much. And I mean the Earthrise mold. It literally cursed the masterpiece Bumblebee design. And it literally bastardized it. And honestly, it just feels like an insult that I just don't want to keep it any longer. So in general, if you want to have an actual, well, G1 looking Cliffjumper, don't buy this thing. Wait until they actually retool, just make this character from scratch, and actually sells it like an actual looking Cliffjumper that you recognize from the original G1. Because this is not G1 Cliffjumper. This is just a poor execution. That's all I have to say. An execution that falls flat. That it Hasbro Designs just did not even give a damn. It just kind of had a budget that wasn't even complete. They just felt rushed. Everything about the Earthrise toy line was so damn rushed. Especially with Kingdom, with Ultra Magnus. How it's supposed to be a commander class, but instead just had to be a leader class. Just a retool of the Siege. The Siege Ultra Magnus that looked neat in the Siege, but Kingdom is just so damn lazy. It just looks so damn ugly. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that they are trying to make an actual commander class Ultra Magnus in the Studio Series line, which I hope it's an actual rumor, and I do want that kind of figure, because I am actually aware who this character was, and I do want this actual Ultra Magnus. But Cliffjumper, I'm actually keeping the actually having the Prime Cliffjumper as a superior looking Cliffjumper, because he actually looks like Cliffjumper, and he actually is kind of better than the G1 Cliffjumper. I mean, who really remembers that much about Cliffjumper from G1? I mean, sure, there many do, but honestly, this one just feels, well, nothing. It's just an sorry for being negative, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that very special to me. It just feels so damn off. A lot of the main line looks a bit off. I mean, it did have kind of a Marvel magic. Until now, it kind of, well, woke me up. Yeah, I just don't know what to do other than just sell this for like 19 or 15 bucks. And if you want to have this figure, then I will sell this and actually, well, kind of tweak a little bit of the overall look. Well, and by look, I mean literally added some kind of painted details just to make it looking better than it usually look. Because, yeah, this has really been a kind of a disappointing kind of video, hasn't it? Either way, this was CyberKnight-Miky, and yeah, my wisdom is just, well, ignore this copy. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, just do not buy this copy. What? Doesn't matter if it's Cliffjumper. Don't buy it that it's literally looking like a Bumblejumper or just a Cliffjumper, Bumblebee or the goddamn gold bug. Don't buy it. It's not worth your time.